He wasn't sure how to pick out weaknesses. And how to use specificity to address those weaknesses. You know, at first I thought he was talking about his lifts. And I was like, dude, don't even worry about it. I said, just follow the template and it's going to bring up 99% of your weak areas. You know, I thought he was talking about bringing up his low back for a squat or whatever. And I was like, just follow the system and you'll get stronger and more explosive. It's going to help your sport a lot. And then he kind of came back and said, no, I'm thinking about areas of weakness when I play tennis. And so not to say you can't or shouldn't do that, but you don't have to. And it's, you know, you always need to take into consideration your population and your sport, but quite honestly, especially if you haven't been training conjugate, you could run a very basic conjugate model and see some really big improvements just because the system is set up so well. I mean, think about it this way. If you ask any strength coach what the biggest physical deficiencies he sees on his athletes are, they're pretty much all going to say the same thing, right? Posterior chain, hip mobility, core strength, right? All those things. Well, all that stuff's already, if you just run a very basic program, very basic, very similar to what Westside runs for their lifters, you're going to attack a lot of those areas. So it's kind of built in to set you up for success in my mind. You know, I always get people say, oh, we need to do more glute and hamstring work. I don't want to punch myself in the face and be like, did you look at the fuck? Do you even know what is on the lift? So we do one main lift, maybe a second barbell movement, depending where we're at in the season, which, by the way, is targeted at the glutes and hamstrings and the hips. And then all your accessory work is also targeted towards those areas. You know, and all the upper body stuff is targeted at a strong back and shoulder health and, you know, being strong and explosive. So it's like, you just grab it, run a simple version of it, and don't even take it into consideration specificity and weakness of your sports. It's going to help you. It can help you quite a bit. Now, if you do, you know, to me, where you put the specificity part in would typically be on your accessory work. Like you talk about rotational power and being in balance, you know, on one side because of his sport. What else did he mention? But anyways, to me, that's where you can attack those things. Just plug movements into your accessory work. It'll take care of those. You know, and then you can tailor your speed work towards a time specific, or your max effort work towards a time specific aspect of your sport. But you don't have to. You know, mobility is built into a basic program. Just box squatting. Box squatting can improve, if done correctly, improve hip mobility on at least 80% of college athletes. And then you throw in a single leg movement once a week. You're hitting that again. Okay? just said, it's not bad to think about those things and put those in there, but sometimes people overthink things, I think. You know, get strong, get explosive. Don't neglect mobility when you need it, and play your sport, and you'll get a lot fucking better. You know, there's only so much gas in the tank, so use it wisely. You know, like movements in the weight room, don't try to do movements that are sport specific in the weight room. Maybe in your warm-ups, but not as part of your lift, because they're not gonna, for the most part, they're not gonna increase your strength. They're not gonna increase your explosiveness. Just do the simple shit and increase your horsepower, and you'll have the biggest impact on your performance. That was a hash brown, Rich. It's gone now, buddy. There's an egg and cheese biscuit about to go down. So, like I said, guys, keep it simple. Get your kids to train hard. If you can get your athletes to train hard, you'll be so far ahead of a lot of people. We were lucky to have kids that worked hard and bought in, so you know that's a huge factor, obviously. Let's hope I don't slide through the fucking light right now. God damn. Got about 12 inches of snow last night. This lady next to me is looking at what the fuck is wrong with you. So keep it simple, train hard. The system will take care of basically all the shit you want. Happen faster. Let's get this shit rolling. But what's cool is we can get some coaches in there and show them how to train and show them how the movements are done. You know, give them a good overview of how to put the system in. And then they can go back and show their kids. To me, doing your movements right, especially your big movements, is really one of the most powerful things you can do in your program. I feel like squatting correctly and doing those things rightly and having the right intent to move the weight fast has so much carryover into sports that it's just that's where you're going to get your most bang for your buck. And I think a lot of people don't realize that and don't spend enough time on it. You know, they should coach more and make sure things are being done right instead of, I think people worry about the programming a lot, you know, and not that that's not important, but to me, teaching a freshman to push on a bar as hard and fast as they can is going to have more effect on their performance as opposed to whether they're doing 8 sets of 3 or 5 sets of 5 on their speed work. You know what I mean? Not that stuff isn't important and you have to have your training directed, but you know, teaching them to train and do those movements right has a lot of carryover. So hopefully we can show some coaches how to get on that.